Hello and welcome to our Wildcat Welcome Hangout, class of 2018. My name is Andrew Green and I'm on the Wildcat Welcome Board of Directors. I'm a rising senior here at Northwestern from Oak Lawn, Illinois, and I am the director for the School of Education and Social Policy, or SESP. We have a great hangout planned for you guys tonight. It's great because it's all of your questions that we're answering. So if you have a question that you'd like us to answer, that you'd like to hear one of our lovely peer advisors provide an answer for, then there are a few ways that you can get those questions to us. First, you can tweet it using the hashtag WWHangout. You can directly message us on Facebook at our Wildcat Welcome Board of Directors account, or you can email us at wildcatwelcome@u.northwestern.edu. But let's get started with having our 6 lovely peer advisors introduce themselves to you guys.
Hey guys, my name is Orko. I'm from Libertyville, Illinois. I'm a second-year peer advisor. I am in the Medill School of Journalism as a broadcast journalism major. I am the class of 2016, and right now I'm at home, but soon I'll be studying abroad in England.
Hi guys, my name is Alexandra Archiola. I'm from Bergenfield, New Jersey. I'm a second-year peer advisor. I'm vocal performance in the Beanan School of Music. I'm class of 2016, which means I'm a rising junior, and I'm working as a teacher this summer in a pre-K classroom, and I'm currently in my house.
Hi guys, I'm Sam. I am from Bedford, New York, like Westchester, New York. It's kind of ambiguous with the towns where I am. I am School of Communication, a radio, TV, film major, and I am a class of 2016, second-year peer advisor, and this summer I'm doing assorted film things in New York City.
Hey guys, my name's Nidra. I am originally from Belleville, Illinois, a town outside of St. Louis, Missouri. I am a second-year PA. I am a cultural anthropology major in the Weinberg College of Arts and Sciences. I am class of 2015, which makes me a rising senior, and I'm currently at home, but I fly out on Friday to go to Tanzania to do research.
Hey guys, I'm Kathleen. I'm from Montgomery, New Jersey. I'm going to be a second-year peer advisor. I'm in the McCormick School of Engineering studying chemical engineering, and I'm going to be class of 2016, which makes me a junior starting in the fall. I'm currently in Bear, Delaware, and I'm doing the first term of my co-op with DelCal.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for those wonderful introductions. Just as a quick reminder for our viewers, if you have a question you'd like to hear a peer advisor answer, you can tweet them at hashtag WWHangout, Facebook message us on our Wildcat Welcome Board of Directors page, or you can shoot us an email at wildcatwelcome@u.northwestern.edu. Also, just as a quick little reminder, some open checklist items that you may have seen in Purple Prep include housing, placement exams, and agent of change. So those may be things that you have questions about, but also just a friendly reminder to be thinking about those things. But let's get started with our first question. This was submitted to us. What about banks? Should I set up an account before I leave home, or should I get one at Northwestern?
So I can take that one. Really, either one works. If you already have a bank from home, just make sure to check out if there are branches near the Evanston campus, and you can probably do that on your bank website. If you're international, during the ISO, or International Student Orientation, your international student leaders will help you set up a bank account, and they can help you step through that process and give you information about that. So really, either way works. Another thing to note is that U.S. Bank is one particular bank that you can bank with at Northwestern's campus, and you can use your Wild card, which is just your student ID card, to bank with them, which is really cool and handy.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Kathleen. That was a wonderful answer. Our next question that we have is, what is the dossier and this freshman seminar I keep hearing about?
So Sorry. So the dossier is an online system for the McCormick School of Engineering and Applied Science and for the Weinberg College of Arts and Sciences. You go on there and you can input all of your information that you have, so your scores for any tests that you've taken, as well as any APs that you might have, IB credits, things like that. And it's also a great way that you can go on and see classes that you want to take for a major that you might have in mind. So it's really great for students to go online and see all that information as well. Also, the freshman seminars are for Weinberg students only, and it's a really great class for the fact that you take it your freshman year for 2 quarters, and that can be broken up either during your fall, like in winter, fall, spring, things like that. And it's a class you get to choose that's outside of your major and outside of your discipline, and you pick those, and you'll get chosen out of your top 10 list.
Awesome. Thank you, Nidra. The next question that we have is there anything that Medill students need to be worrying about right now? Do I need to worry about certain computers or software purchasing during the summer?
I'll take that. I'm in Medill. I guess you don't have to be specifically worrying about anything right now. You will need a computer. It'll be really useful to have your own laptop on campus for Medill work. A lot of people have Macs, a lot of people have PCs. It doesn't really matter. It's based on your preference. And then as far as software goes, you will eventually need an Adobe Suite, which has like video editing and audio editing software, but you don't have to worry about that now. You'll be getting information soon from Medill that will have a list of recommendations from them and recommendations on certain software that you need to buy. But right now, just focus on getting a laptop, and you'll get more information soon.
Okay, so one question we just received is, all of my friends are doing orientation and course registration over the summer. Do we do that, and am I behind? My answer to that is no, you are not behind. Actually, we do not do course registration until Wildcat Welcome, which you'll do with your peer advisor at that point. So you don't have to do anything over the summer in the way of classes or orientation. All that will take place over Wildcat Welcome, and you'll be guided through the process with your peer advisor. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. So the next question that we have is, what about housing? When will I hear about that stuff?
I can take that one. As far as housing goes, you should have filled out some sort of questionnaire form to help you decide what housing you would be in, and you should hear about that in the next couple of weeks, probably the next 2 weeks or the next couple of days. And you can probably contact residential services for more info about that, and that could be found on the new student website.
Awesome. Thank you for that. We will another question. All right, we have this one. So what about McCormick School of Engineering Applied Sciences students and placement exams? So I guess what's the deal with that?
Yeah, so one important note is for McCormick students, we have a slightly earlier deadline than the Weinberg or other schools. So all of these placement exams should be taken by July 11th. So keep note of that. So we have 2 main exams that are specifically McCormick, or that McCormick students should especially take note of. One is the ALEX exam, which pretty much everyone should take. You need it if you're going to take a chem class or a math class, unless you're extremely accelerated in math. And then the other one is a math placement exam, which, again, if you're taking a math class, you're going to have to take. So be sure to stay on top of those. On top of that, there are exams for physics and foreign languages if you're interested in taking higher levels of that than the intro courses.
Awesome, thank you. This next question is a little fun. What do you wish you would have brought to Northwestern that you didn't bring your first year?
I can kick this one off. The first thing that I think of is a fan. It sounds really funny, but it was kind of hot when I came in to move in, and my dorm didn't have air conditioning, and it was just really hot and sweaty. So I wish I would have had a giant fan, and I got one later on in the day.
Yeah, I can also answer that. I wish my freshman year, I wish I bought one of those regular winter coats, like those nice puffy ones that you sometimes are like, I don't want to wear, but it really comes in handy. I'm from Illinois, and I thought Evanston winters were even colder than from home, so I think having a puffy winter jacket, a nice winter coat, is a good idea.
And I can also add to this one. I wish that I brought a bike my freshman year. I actually am guilty as charged because I still don't have one, despite being a rising junior. And I should get on that because I'm living up north this year round. But definitely, if you have any classes that aren't within like a 3-minute, 4-minute walking distance from your dorm, which, given that our campus is about a mile long, is a pretty high possibility. It's really helpful to have a bike. The campus is pretty bike accessible. There are tons of bike racks, and provided that you bring a lock, that security should be pretty high. So I would highly recommend it if your classes are not going to necessarily be close to where you're living this year.
Awesome. So someone asked, what book do we have to read for one book?
Oh, I can answer this one. Okay, we have to read Whistling Vivaldi, which for me, like as a music major, I saw the title and I was like, Vivaldi, that's a composer. I totally got to get on this. So I started reading about it. It's not about music at all. It's actually about this young African American man who found that if he whistled like classical music down the street, he would be approached differently and looked at differently when he walked down the street. And the whole book kind of centers around like stereotype and race and like how we can like eliminate stereotypes in our world. And I don't know, even though it wasn't about classical music, like I really got into it and it's a pretty awesome book. So you'll be getting that probably in July. You should be receiving that in the mail. And I suggest that you delve right into it because it's a great summer read and it's really light and compact and cool. So
Thank you, Alex. I actually started reading it the other day, and I think it's going to be good as well. Awesome. So someone asked, is it best to wait until after AP scores come out to take placement exams? If we do wait, will there be enough time to take them?
I can go ahead and answer this one. You should probably just go ahead and take the placement exams for Northwestern. The deadline's August 1st, so it comes up pretty quickly. You want to make sure that you have enough time, so you're not rushing to take the placement exams or anything like that. And honestly, Purple Prep has a lot of information about how your placement exams can affect your AP scores, affect your placement exams and things like that. But overall, you still should just take them, and then you can just work out both scores after the fact.
Awesome. Solid advice. Thank you. Next up, we have, if you are outside of driving range, is it easy enough to buy things up there near Evanston / have them shipped for move-in day?
Yeah, I can take this. So there are, in Evanston and around the area, there's a lot of stores and stuff that you can buy last-minute items or things that you need for your room. There's a Target, and Target's a great place, as you will find out. And you can get some stuff there. And then as far as shipping goes, you can have things shipped, but you shouldn't plan to have them be shipped before September 12th. There's a company called USS that works with residential services. So if you use this company, yeah, the packages won't be directly delivered to your room until your arrival on September 15th.
Awesome. Thank you, Orko. So someone asked, what kind of bike do you recommend for campus?
I can take this one. I have a bike on campus, and my bike is a road bike that I actually bought from one of the bike shops around school. And so there's a lot of bike shops, if you don't have one now, that you can buy bikes from. I also had a couple of friends buy some bikes like off Amazon, and you can actually build them in your dormitory. But honestly, any kind of bike that you're comfortable with is fine. Some people have road bikes, some have Schwinn's, some have mountain bikes. So really, whatever you feel comfortable with or whatever you have already is totally fine on campus.
Awesome, thank you, Nidra. So someone asked us the question. So for our wildcards, I know that we need to upload an acceptable photo online. Where do we do this, and are we able to do this now?
I can take this. So the link to uploading your photo for your wildcard is in the new student and family programs page. You need to do it by August 1st, so do that as soon as you possibly can.
Yeah, so that is open now. The sooner the better. Next question. What kind of computer would you recommend for an engineer?
I can take that. So really, there aren't too many specs that are really important. NUIT has some descriptions of some specifications that are recommended, but a lot of people are especially asking about like PC versus Mac, and I'd say it's about a 50-50 split, so it really doesn't matter between the two of them. You don't really need super, super, super high computing power because we have a lot of engineering labs around the buildings that we're in, so you can utilize those if your computer isn't like ridiculously spec'd out. So, like whatever you go with, it'll be fine.
Awesome, thank you. So someone asked if I want to take a language at Northwestern that I've never taken before, do I still need to take the placement exam just as a gauge?
I can take this one. You can take it as a gauge, but considering you've never taken the language before, and especially like if you've never been, I don't know, around the language or really introduced to the language before, your probably safest bet is just like taking the 101 course when you come into Northwestern, and you don't really need to take a placement exam. You'll just be based at the beginner level. But if you wanted to, I mean, you could. You can take a look on the placement exams page on the Northwestern website to learn more if you really want to.
Awesome, thank you, Alex. So what do you think or what do you think, I guess, I as a student should expect from Wildcat Welcome? What is it like?
I can take this one. I think Wildcat Welcome is a really exciting time. It's the first time that new students get to be on campus and get to get introduced to the school. I think what you can expect from Wildcat Welcome is just a time to, I guess, transition into Northwestern. I think it serves as a great way to learn about the campus, the culture, the classes you'll be taking, the different schools, the different students around you. So you can expect to learn a lot about things that you'll need to do to prepare for Northwestern, and then expect to get some help in that transition. And it's just a really great time. There'll be a lot of different activities, different things to do, different people to meet, and I think it's a great time.
I'll also hop on to this answer. Orca really said a lot of the same things that I would say. When I think back to my Wildcat Welcome, I also think about the friends that I made, because I'm actually friends with a lot of people that I met during Wildcat Welcome, even now as a rising senior. So it's also a really great way to kind of, just find a place that you really feel comfortable with at Northwestern. And it is a really great time for you just to transition into college life, because there's no classes, no nothing. You just get a chance to experience what college is like for a full 8 days, and it's a really great experience. Just go in with an open mind and you'll have a ton of fun.
For sure. Wildcat Welcome is a ton of fun, and all those other things. So someone asked, if we want to double major across schools, how does that work? Should I look at the requirements for both schools I'm planning to study in? Do we do all advising when we get to school? And how do distribution requirements work for that? Pretty long question.
Yeah, so I can take that. So first of all, it's cool that you're thinking about that. It's totally doable. I know a lot of people are doing like McCormick Beanon, dual degrees and things like that. So it's cool that you're thinking about that. So you probably don't need to be thinking right now super in depth about your requirements, because you're going to be meeting with an advisor during Wildcat Welcome once you get on campus. If you really, really, really want to figure these things out, you can call you can call the appropriate office for that. You can call your specific school about that. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, it's, again, super doable and something that you'll have a chance to talk to your advisor about during Wildcat Welcome. Awesome. Thank you for that, Kathleen. For Medill, someone asks, do we have to get any special journalist instruments, like a pro camera or a recorder?
I can take this because I'm in Medill. I think you will eventually need to get things to use for class projects like a camera and a tripod and a recorder, but unless you have received information about that, you don't have to go out right now and buy it. Medill will send you a list of recommendations for equipment you can buy, and then you can either take the recommendations or go out and buy the cameras and the recorders that you want. But you will eventually have to get it, but you don't have to go off on your own blind. You'll get information from Medill, and then from there you can go on and purchase what you need.
Wonderful. Thank you, Orko. Next question. Is it realistic to bring a car to Northwestern?
I can take this. So you technically can, however, most people choose not to because we have a really good public transit system. It's very easy to get around Evanston and into Chicago. We have an L train that comes straight to Evanston that will take you straight into the heart of Chicago. We have an intercampus loop that more or less does the same thing for free, and it even runs on weekends. So there's a million different ways to get around and get to where you need to go, and as a result, there's not really a need for cars. Also, the parking situation near campus, truthfully, is a little tough, and it's hard to find spaces that you don't have to like either get a permit for or just even find at all. And so you'd have to park pretty far away from campus. So in general, it's probably easier not to bring a car and not to have to worry about that. Some people choose to down the line, but at least as an underclassman, it's probably better to just use public transit and bikes.
Awesome. Thank you, Sam. So this next question, I'm guessing, is either from an athlete or someone who is just interested in the lives of athletes. But do athletes still get to participate in all the parts of Wildcat Welcome?
I'll answer this one. For the most part, they do, and that depends on kind of what sport you're playing, what times you practice, things like that. And coaches are really understanding as well, which is pretty nice. I never had any athletes in any of my PA groups, but a lot of my friends did. And what's really great is they'll plan times for students to go together, like PA groups to go together to watch games and things like that, which is really great. So even if you have to miss something, you still have your PA group who's looking out for you and still want to hang out with you and stuff, which is awesome.
Awesome. Thank you, Nidra. Next question we have. Is there anywhere that we can check if our final transcript was received?
Yes. You can contact the Office of Undergraduate Admissions for that info if you want it.
Awesome. Thank you. Next question. Do you know this? Can I get discounted software on campus? That's a good question.
Yeah, so I can answer this. So we recently got this. We can get Microsoft Office for free, but you need to be using the on-campus Wi-Fi to be able to download it. So you have that. We don't have operating systems available for free, like Windows 7, Windows Vista for download. So you should look elsewhere for that. And finally, for MATLAB, we do have, this specifically for engineers, we do have discounts for that, and you can get that through NUIT. And look in Purple Prep for links to that.
Awesome. Thank you. It looks like you did know that. Thank you, Kathleen. Next question. So I'm going into the School of Communication, and I know that computer buying is based on preference, but are there any necessary features that I might need to have in a computer?
All right, I am in School of Comms. I can take this. First of all, this very much depends on what major within the School of Communication you're in. I would say that radio, TV, film majors probably need computers with more space on them and better hard drives than, say, like a theater major might. But it really depends on what you plan to do with your computer. I would say if you plan to have a lot of video footage in your computer and plan to do a lot of editing on there, photos, a video, anything like that, a bigger computer is better, and you might also want a bigger screen for that. But as you stated, preference is really the biggest role there. There's nothing, there's no specific feature that you have to have beyond just whatever is necessary to use the files that you're planning on working with as a student in the School of Comm.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sam. So we've been hearing some wonderful answers from our peer advisors, but someone asks, how do PA groups work?
I can answer this. Okay, so PA groups, let's just start with the specifics. Like Andrew said, like a PA stands for a peer advisor, which is all of us, which means that all of us have the opportunity to have a group of freshmen or new students, including transfers, to help mentor them during Wildcat Welcome and kind of show them the ropes and bring them around campus, and kind of help them find their way in that first couple of, I don't know, like few days. I think it's like 8 days of school where it's really just orientation and beyond that. So whenever you need some sort of mentor, we're there for you. Whenever you need some sort of support system, we're there for you too. The great thing about PA groups is that even though it's one-on-one, like we can do that for all of you on an individual basis, you're doing this all with a group of students who are in your same situation. So they will be in your same school. So you'll be placed into a PA group based on your major and a peer advisor who is also in your major. So for example, my PA group will be music majors within the Beanan School of Music. And that will be particular to my PA group. They're a great resource. You can meet with them for the rest of the year, and I don't know, they become a great group of friends. I know personally my PA group includes some of my best friends now, so they're great. You'll love them.
Awesome, thank you, Alex. And just to clarify, so it depends by school whether or not you'll be with people in your major, actually. So, for example, in Weinberg, SASB, and McCormick, you are not necessarily in a group of people of your major, but it'll always be within your school. So next question, we have a quick question regarding the quarter system and class structure. Is every class structured where the only grades you have are 2 midterms and a final?
I'll take this one. So no, definitely not. It depends on your class, what school you're in, things like that. So for me, in Weinberg as an anthropology major, I take classes all outside of anthropology, and I had just last quarter a class that only had a midterm and a final, but I also had a class that had a couple of papers, a midterm, and a final. Sometimes you'll have homework assignments, things like that, so it completely depends on the class and the professor.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, it's definitely not just 2 midterms and a final for every class. Definitely varies. Next question, if I want to double major, should I have declared that already, or do I do that when I get there?
I can take that. So it's totally fine if you haven't declared your second major yet, or even your first if it's undecided. You basically have all of freshman year and even beyond that to figure that out exactly. And you can work through declaring your second major with your advisor once you meet with them on campus.
Awesome, thank you, Kathleen. Our next question that we have is, how does pledging for Greek life work?
I can take this. So for Greek life, most of the rush process happens during the winter. So at the beginning of winter quarter, around January, at the beginning of January, that's when I guess recruitment for Greek life happens, and then it's a good way to spend fall quarter, you know, deciding if you want to join a fraternity or sorority, and it gives you that time to really learn more about it and see if it's something that you're interested in. But yeah, it happens the first week of January.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, and since it is deferred till winter, it's not really something you need to be thinking about too much over the summer by any means. But our next question is, what does one do with a bike over the winter?
I can answer this. So most people just actually leave their bikes outside. I know it sounds really crazy, but we really don't get as much snow as we had last winter, so it's definitely okay. Some people also buy little covers for their bikes, so it covers like everything that needs to be covered, obviously, for the bike. Also, depending on, you know, where you're living, you might be able to store bikes inside, but that completely depends on the dormitory and things like that. But most people just leave them outside, and I've actually never had a problem with leaving my bike outside.
Thank you, Nidra. You're becoming our resident bike expert. Our next question, what sort of appliances can we have in our dorm rooms? Are coffee makers and mini fridges acceptable?
I can answer this. So coffee makers are not acceptable. I learned that the hard way. I love my coffee, but you can get that in the dining hall, so don't worry about that. Um, you can bring a fridge, and I would actually recommend that you go to this website that's through Northwestern called resessentials.com, which is rezessentials.com, and it's all one word. And through there, you can order a mini fridge, and it'll actually be waiting for you at your dorm when you move in. So it's just really, really an easy and convenient way to have a mini fridge. And yeah, that's an appliance you can definitely have in your dorm.
Awesome, thank you. Looks like we're ready for our final question, which is, what is your favorite thing about Northwestern?
I can start off with this one. It might sound really cliche, but for me, it's definitely the people I've met and the friends that I've gained from Northwestern. Everyone's just really amazingly talented and smart and interesting and welcoming, and it's such a great community to be a part of. So I can't wait for everyone watching this to be a part of the Northwestern family.
I'll go next, and I'm totally gonna piggyback off Orko. If you saw my post in Weinberg, class of 2018, you already know this, but I love the people. Like, the people I've met are just so amazing. They inspire me to do all of the great things that I've done at Northwestern, and I'm so excited for you guys to come to campus and meet the people that I've had a chance to meet, and really just get a chance to feel inspired and driven and just be successful.
Yeah, so my favorite thing besides the people, because the people are, of course, as Orko and Adria said, great, is the vibrant extracurricular culture on campus. It's like nothing else that I saw at any other schools that I toured or have heard of. We have just so many different student activities and groups. Just, I mean, I can't even like emphasize that enough. There's just so many, you can't even count them. And they represent all sorts of different interests, fields, I mean, literally everything. And so, you know, like a lot of academically, you know, well-known schools, we have great professors and great classes. But in addition to that, there's so much going on outside the classroom. And finding that balance is always a really cool, difficult, but cool circumstance to find yourself in as a freshman, new student, whoever you are. And yeah, just get involved, try a lot of different things out. And you can always cut back, but getting as many new experiences as you possibly can is one of the thrilling parts of being a new student at Northwestern, and something that I think everyone should try out.
I can go next. I mean, my first gut instinct answer was going to be the people. I mean, everyone said it already, but the people here are so amazingly supportive and kind and caring, on top of being incredibly talented and smart. My answer, other than that, would have to be how much you can do with your time here, thanks to the quarter system. You can fit in double majors, minors, certificates, and so on more easily than you otherwise would have, which is really, really cool. Allows you to do really cool things with your time.
Yeah, okay. So y'all all stole my answer. Obviously, for me, of course, it's the people, but I'll go on to say it's also the perspectives. As an opera singer, it's kind of really, really easy to kind of get absorbed in my musical world and want to do music all the time because I love to do that. But through the people that I've met at Northwestern, I've realized that there are just so many different opinions, so many different perspectives, so many different things that people are just incredibly passionate about. And it's amazing. And it's made me more passionate about things. I mean, I have a minor in language now, and I know that it's because of the people that I've met here, who are super passionate about it, and the faculty and the departments that are also super passionate about getting you passionate about things as well. So I think that even though it's wonderful because I can have a really specialized program with my own major, it's amazing that I get to see that other people are doing the same thing and branching out and realizing that there's just so much more around them than their major as well. And just, I don't know, seeing all these amazing people who are so passionate form into a bigger community of Northwestern through everyone being involved in everyone's different perspectives and passions and kind of feeding off that with each other. I don't know. I think it's great. Go Cats.
Thank you guys for that. Yeah, my answer would be all of the above. That was great, guys. Thank you for that. So this marks the end of our questions then for this Google Hangout. Thank you all so much for joining us. A recording will be made available on our website. If you submitted any questions that we didn't get a chance to answer, we will follow up. And if you have any future questions, you can always contact us on our Facebook page or by email. Our next Wildcat Welcome Hangout will be on July 23rd, so get pumped for that. Make sure you log in and join us for that one. And also make sure that you are checking out the checklist in Purple Prep, March Through the Arch. A new one will be coming out in a couple of weeks, and also on our website. Thank you guys so much for everyone who joined, and we can't wait to see you in September for Wildcat Welcome. Bye.